going to do a quick video on documents, right? So this is something I want you to totally be aware of as we go through the process. You can refer back to this video, okay? So now if you are a W-2 worker, let's start at the top, right? We're going to need the W-2s for the most recent 2 years, okay? You can get that from your payroll company or your accountant. If you use an accountant to file for the previous year, we'll need 1 month of consecutive most recent pay stubs, personal tax returns if you are currently owning a property and you have Schedule E. So we need to see what the rents are and how much losses that you are writing off. Sorry, and what we can use for income, okay? Now, if you're self-employed, I have to wet my whistle there. So if you're self-employed, we're gonna need your most recent tax returns signed as well. Copy of your business license, signed CPA letter. We'll need a profit and loss, which will also have to be updated as we go through the process. Any corporate partnership returns, 1120s, 1065s, K1s. We'll need that if there's a partnership agreement in place. We need to know how much percentage of the business you own. 2 years of 1099 if you are a contractor. Full employment information for the most recent 2 years, including type of industry and title. Now, if you're retired and we're using retirement income for Social Security, we need your board letter, retirement disability income, personal tax returns showing that you've been consistent in receiving that funds for the past 2 years. Most recent 2 months of bank statement, evidence of consistent receipt of those deposits, okay? And if you're, receiving or paying child support, we'll need the supporting documents. So provide a copy of the fully executed divorce decree, property settlement agreement, all the pages, court orders. Now, as far as assets, right? Typically, we're going to look for 2 months recent bank statements, checking, savings, whatever account that you're going to be using for the purchase. We don't need all your bank statements. Keep that in mind. Because it's going to be more documents that you have to provide. So we want to make the process as smooth as possible. So if you're just using one source of bank account, just send us that. If we need what we call reserves and it's in another account, we'll need that. If you have retirement income, which is 401k, if you're taking a withdrawal from that account, keep in mind that we will need to get the terms and condition as well as the most recent quarterly or monthly statements, right? Make sure that when you're sending documents, it's got to be legible, such as IDs, passport has to be legible. We'll also send you an email to how you can, take pictures of documents because this is all going to the underwriter and it has to be legible. No screenshots. If you can, in most cases, try to download bank statements, pay stubs, things like that, so we can get a great image of those, and we can, once we upload it to the system, the image is clear. All judgment must be satisfied prior to closing. So if you, again, have, one of the things I do recommend here is to go to your local case lookup. Here in Connecticut, I believe it's ct.gov, or ctjud.gov, and just put your name in and make sure that you don't have any judgments outstanding, because those cannot be opened. They'll have to be paid at settlement, okay? If you have, like I said, 401ks, make sure that, we have the quarterlies and the monthly, and that has to be updated as well, along with bank statement and pay stubs as we go through the process, okay? Don't throw out those pay stubs, please. And let's say if you're refinancing, we're going to need your most recent mortgage statements for all your properties, copy of the homeowner declaration page, all the properties, most recent tax bill for all properties. Normally, I can find the tax bills myself, and I'll get those. Copy of the deed for the subject property, copy of the note for any second mortgage or home equity line of credit. Sign and written reason for cash out if applicable. I will help you with that as well. And And if you're purchasing a legible copy of the fully executed contract, seller concessions need to be stated on the contract. I mean, if the seller is giving you $2,000 or $3,000 back as to help with your closing costs, it must be on the contract. Okay. If we make any mistakes as we go through the process, just bring it to our attention, and we will make sure that we disclose again, redisclose and redisclose till we get everything correct, because we're only human and, everyone makes mistakes. Copy of your escrow letter, copy of your deposit check. Do not use a money order because it's considered cash. So do not use a money order when setting your deposit out or getting your deposit, no matter what. Use a check or a cashier's check from your source account, because everything in this transaction, we have to source, okay, where it came from. While we're on the subject of sourcing, as we go through the process, do not, deposit anything more than $500 in cash, because we will have to source it. And then what happens is if you need it for the closing, we're not going to be able to use it. So don't do it. Or do it ahead of time so we don't see it. Okay. So, that's something we can discuss as well. Anyways, back to the PG here, that's program. Name, address, and telephone number of your real estate agent. We need the name, address of your attorney, name, address, and if your landlord, if that's applicable. In some cases, we may have to do a verification of rents. And that's pretty much it. So just keep in mind, legible copies of all documents, any government document, tax returns have to be wet signed. We're going to send out an SSA 89 form that has to be printed and wet signed. You do have to, there's two things that you have to pay for during the process outside of the mortgage itself, right? That's going to be your inspection, which I highly recommend, okay? Because, you want to know what you're buying, right? Secondly, we're going to order the appraisal. However, that's a third-party fee, and just like your attorney, those are third-party fees. So that has to be paid for ahead of, closing on your loan. And that's pretty much it. So give me a call if you have any other questions. And that's it for today. All right. Happy house hunting, and please subscribe to my channel, ring the bell, like, and all that good stuff. And we'll talk to you soon. All right. Take care.